Here we go. I'd like to say it was my first one of the day, but it was such a goddamn nice evening out. Had to have a few beautiful weather. Goddamn sunny.
Can you guys drink at work, by the way? When you guys are like working from home, have you guys ever cracked one? Just like right in the middle of the workday? All right, Alan's rolling his eyes, which means
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I work in my home. Why the fuck wouldn't I?
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes the sentences don't need to be dulled, but when you go back and you watch these episodes of Mad Men, and it's just, hey, let's have a bourbon at 150. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. I think it was different circumstances. They were there was a lot more around the midday glass of bourbon. There was like secretary fucking harassment. There was smoking cigarettes indoors. There was a whole litany of activities that was happening besides just bourbon midday.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But I mean, but in that scenario, it's all about the creative process. But Wes, like, didn't you tell me like there was a time where you would go to lunch with colleagues and like, yeah, let me get a Heineken, and then that had to come to an end?
I don't. I'm just look. Okay, so at my current job, there definitely was like a Friday, 3 o'clock. Let's get a beer. Let's have some beers in the office. And there was always beers in there. And it wasn't. It specifically was not for any time other than like towards the end of the day, Friday, special occasions and things like that. Midday. I know. God. I know we did it like Thursdays for like around this time around the NCAA basketball tournament, like tip off, like let's go to lunch and have a couple beers. I don't recall there being some sort of weird alcoholic anonymous intervention. Like, man, we ought to stop drinking during the middle of the day. I don't think it got that bad at any of my jobs. Now, I mean, I do know like Friday, right? Because most Fridays I work from home now. Um, like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'll crack one like to start the weekend. But drinking at work, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, but wasn't there a time where like it was like by rule, like construction workers would go to work and they'd have a Yeti cooler filled with like a
Oh,
six pack of Bush?
that's still a thing. That's different though.
Is it? How is it? Okay, I agree with you, but I want to know why.
Oh,
Why?
'cause they're out there working hard and sweating, being cold. Fucking like I literally fucking sit at home and talk. That's all I do. I talk and I type stuff on occasion. Like that's the extent of my job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really need one. I don't really drink a whole lot anyway, just generally speaking. But like, yeah, like at no point does my job cause me the need to really have to have a drink in the middle of the day.
I don't know if it's need. I think sometimes it's just like the desire to like loosen up a bit, man. I mean, it feels to me like a construction crew shouldn't be all loosey goosey when they're framing a fucking skyscraper.
That's true, but I feel like when you almost get fucking disabled by a fucking I beam swinging through, a swig of a fucking beer afterwards really calms the nerves, so you can get back to work. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. I don't know. I've never been in construction, so I have no fucking clue. I sell the stuff that construction people do. So there's that.
I just don't
but
think
but
no
yeah, I
relation.
don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think they deserve it. I don't need it, honestly.
Yeah, no, he brings up a good point because I do think that. Well, and first of all, he said they're outside and they're cold, and if they're not outside and they're cold, it's the sweltering fucking heat. It's a July
Mhm.
day, and you got your vest on with nothing else underneath of it, looking all sweaty and sexy, beautiful, glistening, which are which are formed, which are formed trapezius. But because I have been on a few, I work specifically on a prefabricated home crew. You familiar with that? You show up in the homes in like 4 or 5 different pieces. The foreman has rented a crane for the day. He's asking you to bust your ass because the crane costs like, I don't know, $200, $300 an hour. And you put it onto a concrete foundation and then you put it together. All right. There's different people that put the sides of the houses together, different people that put the shingles together. And then there's some other, there's the different pit crews of team that are responsible for different things. But you worked like 6 to 5. with really minimal breaks. I mean, if you had to piss, you took a piss. If you had to eat, you ate. There was no like, all right, crew, let's sit down, half hour, open your lunch pails. Like there was none of that shit. At the end of the day, you fucking earned a beer. You looked forward to an ice cold Coors Light next to the pickup truck, and everyone said, "Yep,"
I don't
4 or
think-
5 times in
I don't
unison.
think I've ever
Yep.
looked forward to a nice cold Coors Light, but yes,
Bro.
that sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I just think about those guys working the high steel back in the day, putting up like the Empire State Building in like less than 2 years, like staring out over the fucking New York skyline, just like, yep, time for a tall boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While I traverse this very narrow path, several thousand feet above the ground.
Didn't you have a
And there
fun
ain't
fact
like
about it? How many people died during that?
I don't know if I did.
I feel like we did maybe mention
There's
That
been so
sounds
many.
something.
There's been so many fun facts of death.
all the fun facts.
5.
Uh,
5 people died during 3,400 workers over the course of 13 months of construction. 5 people died. That's I mean, hey man, you could say, oh, that's only 1.247%. Like, I ain't trying to roll the dice with that. Shit. At the end of the day, I've earned a drink. Or
Yeah, but you're talking about an era of no OSHA. You said 13 months. I thought it was 2 years. That's a year and a month.
yeah, that's
And-
crazy.
And like that 1 month was like holidays and shit. It piled up over the year and like a weekend off.
Yeah,
1.
that's wild. I didn't know it was that fast.
God.
Why can't we get back? I mean, okay, maybe it's a blessing and a curse, but like, can we get back to that? You know, like when they built the Freedom Tower, how long did it take them to build the Freedom Tower after they knocked down the Twin Towers? Was it like over a decade?
Yes, I thought it was like
Maybe.
6.5.
Yeah, but I feel like there was a lot of like excavation and like, you know what I mean? I feel like that was a lot more like shit had to happen because of the other things that happened
Yeah,
before
but
you could make a thing happen.
I don't know though. I felt like we looked at like a half wrapped condom for at least 5 years before they fucking finished that sucker up.
It's possible.
And would you? Okay, so first
Yeah,
of all,
I don't know.
1 year, 45 days for the Empire State Building, and you hit the nail on the head earlier. You talked about OSHA. Times have changed, man. Times have changed. They can't be having drunk crews around there. Can't be doing all that. And I do think perhaps if you want to go back, it's got to go back to the Don Draper thing. You know, in his boss. What's his boss name? Silverman. Just something like that. I don't know. In the midday, after you get done a good sale, you have a bar in your office, and then you get so blithering drunk you pass out in your office, and you wake up with your hair still matted down, no stains under your armpits, no wrinkles, and your perfectly fucking creased pressed white shirt, ready to sell the next day. God bless America.
Well, the thing is, okay, you say all these things, but like the drinking seems to be the number one thing. I can't find any besides OSHA and everything else. We got the entire 100-year-old Empire State Building built, and you said a year and 45 days. And again, these guys were intoxicated. Maybe the booze is the thing that was America's fuel that
Maybe
got
it
us, made us productive and got us to where we are today. So maybe it's time to make America drunk again.
When did they build the Empire State Building? What year was it? Do we know?
1920 to 1930. 1929 to 1930. Sorry.
Okay, so
Right.
that's post Prohibition, right? I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, man, people were getting fucking housed. You know, maybe that's what it was. Maybe you're right.
I think people were happier on the job site because there was more camaraderie. What promotes camaraderie more than sharing a couple boozy drinks together? And then you guys aren't really fighting. Maybe you are, but if you're fighting, you're drunk fighting. You're like, fuck you. Couple fisticuffs. I love you, man. Sorry, dude. I just blowing up on you. Yeah, me too. Hey, you want some Jack Daniels? Yeah, let's have a cup. Glock, 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 glock. Now you get up on the steel and I'll grab the rivets.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like that. That's basically exactly how it happened.
That is, you could write a fucking play, man. The making of the Empire State Building.
Yeah. And for the record, the Freedom Tower took 13 years,
Yeah.
Holy moly.
but it was mostly just disputes over money and design.
And yes, and zoning.
Yeah, and because apparently they had to strike a deal with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
Oh my God.
Right.
See?
Well,
See,
because
that's why.
they lease the land, right? Because I went the whole thing with the
Yeah, I think so.
with the old twin towers. It was owned by
Port
was
Authority.
and yeah, the Port Authority. I always mess it up. Is it NYNJ or NJNYPA? New York, New Jersey.
I think it's New York, New Jersey. Yeah.
NYNJPA, leased
Yeah.
by that snaky Larry Silverstein, who obviously had something to do with 9/11 because he's a Jewish guy and he owned property.
Yeah.
He needed to get the towers high enough so he could focus the lasers on the horizon.
That's correct. Yeah. The lasers only zero in at 900 feet. You know what? One of the big suspicious things about that is like prior to and your conspiracy Dar is going to go off on this, but June of 2001, he added in. He didn't add in. This is like I hate to say that because in conspiracy there's going to be, oh my god, but he did add in or throw up in a revamp of the insurance policy terrorist attack insurance.
Yeah, but they already had one, so it doesn't like and
Okay,
the world was getting to that point. Like,
you pluck that out in like less than a second. So that's thank you, bravo, I appreciate it.
yeah, no, look, I do contain in my head like several conspiracy theories, but people do conspire. Like conspiracy, like the term conspiracy theory was created to basically put people on the sideline and make them nut jobs if they had an alternate storyline for what may or may not have happened. Like, and I do complain, oh, I got a very creative mind. I like to think about all the different windfalls that could happen if A happens, then B happens, then C happens. Yeah, I'm there, but like I'm also a pretty rational guy. Like I believe that 90% of the story we got from 9/11 is true. The 10% is what causes a lot of nut jobs to still exist in America, and well, they're gonna die off soon anyway, so we won't worry about them.
Yeah. I don't want to make this a conspiracy theory chit chat. I just thought that was interesting. Just thought it was good. So you say bring the booze back, make the construction more efficient.
Yeah. Get rid of OSHA.
Okay.
Get rid of OSHA and beef up building inspection is what I say. Is like,
Okay.
make sure that the buildings are done right at the end of the day. But maybe, look, if a crew of Salvadoran gentlemen who pull wire at a fucking rapid rate fucking take a surge and to have extreme injury. If there's a guy, an elevator guy, and he just slips off a fucking elevator and down the shaft he goes. How fast are we getting it done?
Well, look, the Conowingo Dam. Go ahead, Wes.
Is that a few deaths for the greater good?
Yeah, it depends on what we're building, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we're building office space for financiers. I mean, what's more important than that?
Wall Street office space. We're building fucking Wolf of Wall Street offices.
Yeah, we're building offices for men to go and pilfer off the American public and the hardworking folks that built the building they're now doing their jobs from. Like, what is more American than that? We're gonna build this country on the backs of the broken, and we're gonna get wealthy off of it. I mean, that's the American way. It's the American dream.
It is. I don't know about the dream, but it is the American way.
It's what Superman fought for God's sake. How bad could it be?
Middle class hoes, everyone. Murr, Allen, and Fox. Man, oh boy, came across the banger this week, and I mean, every now and then you get down the YouTube rabbit hole, but this sucker, speaking of holes,
Speaking of bangers,
boy, if we got one for you. This is a little ditty for a small Canadian town in, I believe, Saskatchewan.
that's right.
Just let you experience it yourself.
Regina, experience Regina.
I was gonna say, I love the real estate photo that they included in the town promo video.
Do you like
single-
blossoming crepe myrtles? Because we got something for you.
Oh my god!
Single
Dude.
house, 3-car ranchers in the outskirts of Regina, Saskatchewan. Oh, folks, yeah, that's right.
Regina!
Regina, Saskatchewan, small town in Canada. And this is recently Tim Reed, the CEO of Experience Regina, had recently received some, I don't even know, like kickbacks, apologies over criticizing new slogans for sexualizing the city. I mean, hey, look, some people have waterfalls, some people have water parks, some people have tall buildings that were built by people who died building those tall buildings in record time. Some people have shorelines and coastlines. Some people have presidents carved out of fucking stone. And some people have a town named Regina. All right? You got to fucking embrace that shit.
Goddamn right you do. There's nothing
How
to
much do we-
apologize for.
What? How much do you think they paid to get that song like written?
Too much.
That was the lowest bidder. That was a lowest bidder thing. that was a reverse auction, my man.
It was one of those. Like, it was one of those like name our new naval ship, and this was the Bodie McBoatface of fucking town jingles. You know what I mean?
This
That's so good.
this was someone who had a fucking keyboard and knew how to knew a little bit of rhythm, had maybe participated in their Sunday choir, ran the sound system at their church on Sundays and Wednesdays, and was like, yeah, you got hell yeah, eh? Did you give me the Regina theme song for tourism? I'm in.
You just throw in A.
Dude. Okay, I got to tell you something. This is why. Okay, how can they say that this is a failure or something to apologize for when now some turd rag like myself wants to go to Regina because I respect the shit out of their shittiness of how like wholesome the town. There's nothing to do in Regina. What are you gonna do in Regina? You gonna go look at the crepe myrtle in some guy's fucking front yard? Are you gonna go stare at the sky for an albatross? Like, what are you going to do in Regina besides go to this delightful man's Sunday service and hear him sing off key? There's nothing else to do, but I want to do it now.
Yeah,
You're
you're absolutely right.
Did you
Apparently
not
they have a
see
nice-
woman? Did you not see a woman petting a buffalo in that fucking YouTube video?
I was gonna say they have the Royal Saskatchewan Museum. It has exhibits on Canada's Aboriginal peoples and native animals. So I'm assuming that's what that's from.
Dude, I don't care about that. You know what I want in Regina? I want some sweet, sticky, sappy syrup. That's what I want in Regina.
That
I wanna-
makes sense.
I want to get my fingers sticky in Regina.
Jesus.
Yeah, I thought you maybe say like play ice hockey or something like that. There's nothing real. I'm trying to see the closest city that we would know. There's not really much in Saskatchewan. There's a lot of lakes to the north. Listen, the closest it looks like it's equidistant east-west or the middle to Calgary and Winnipeg on the same highway. I don't know if any of you know Highway 13 in Canada. Maybe you guys are familiar with the roadways and the interstate commerce.
Yeah, that's the interprovince system or whatever.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. What I want to know is, okay, so let's just say this got properly vetted through the Regina Town Commission, and they're like, "Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this here's the first unveiling of our new theme song to bring in tourism. Let's have a go." And they sat there and they watched that 3-minute amazing video, by the way. I mean, whatever Canada's MVAs are, Music Video Awards, that should be at least nominated. Okay. And no one on this council thought that, hey, maybe this might raise some questions about what our town name rhymes with. All right. And then it passed through. It passed. They're like, yep, absolutely. Everyone, all in favor? Aye, yeah, aye. And then it got through, and then they put it on YouTube, and 6 months later, they have another town council meeting. Like, holy shit, I think we may have made a major mistake, people. Did you know that Did you know that the repercussions were going to come down like this?
Yeah. I think you're right. That's probably exactly how it went. And there, I feel like they like correct people very staunchly. Like if you say Regina, you're like coming through, and they're like it's Regina, and then but then you use it that way, it's intended because that's what whoever named it was intending.
I almost feel like maybe that's where this campaign came from, is that they were tired of correcting people. It's like, hey, if you wanted people to say the name right, we got to tell them what it rhymes with. It rhymes with vagina. It's called Regina. I'm tired of people coming to my town and telling me how to say the name of my town when my town is said this way. This is wrong and not right. It's Regina like vagina. So come have some Regina. And I want to go ahead now and market some I lost my virginity shirts in Regina.
I like it. I
Mhm.
like it. That's
Yeah.
good. It's fucking
Yeah.
marketing.
They need guys like us on the board. Like, look, folks, don't push this away. Yeah, don't push the Regina away. Embrace the Regina.
Yeah. Get in the Regina.
Get your fingers in there, clamp it in, and pull it towards you.
That's oh yeah. All right. You know the move.
Get your face in there.
Uh-huh.
Give a good look. See.
Dude, the
Yeah.
shirts make themselves. I know now mine's a mocking shirt, but like experience Regina. Like Regina lover, just it just God, it's so ripe. I mean, I want to know. Here, how's the weather in Regina? Is Regina moist?
Oh, I bet it's real moist.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's in Saskatchewan, which I think is pretty remote.
yeah, but sometimes you can get a very dry Regina. I would figure most months of the year when it's so cold outside.
Don't want that.
No, you don't
No,
want a dry Regina.
I think it's moist cold. Regina.
Oh, I love Regina.
Yeah.
So we gotta go on like a trip. I'm sure there's like a golf course or something we can go and fucking get blasted
Yeah.
and
I want to
experience Regina.
and take Tom Green with us, just as like somewhat like a celebrity tour guide. I mean, pay that guy $100. He could probably show us all the ins and outs of Regina, all the little crevices.
What if there's a cave system in Regina?
Hey, Murray, you actually linked this to me, and here's some funny town names in the greater 48 states of the U.S. and the Union, if you will. I think there was like 50 of them on the list. I didn't get all of them, so. But Bacon Level, Alabama.
Bacon level?
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
that's like where I am on a Sunday morning. Hey, what's our bacon level?
I was gonna say, is that like sea level except with bacon?
I was thinking just like one step below DEF CON. You're like DEF CON 5, you're at Bacon Level.
Or is it like a level, like a tool, like a level but made of bacon?
Ooh.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
see, I was going more with like a unit of measurement. Like again, like I would like to make some pancakes and some bacon. What's our bacon level? Like, is there enough for the whole family? Because I can't start making bacon just for like me and one other person. I got to make bacon for everybody. So what's our bacon level?
I got you. I like it. I think it's a flexible. I think what we've learned is a very flexible term.
Gotcha. This is actually more of a selfish pick because you guys made fun of me endlessly for not knowing what the Bat Cave, North Carolina, should be called the Bat Chamber, but the Bat Cave.
Bat chamber.
Booger Hole, West Virginia.
Of course, it's in West Virginia
That's
too.
very West Virginia of them.
Oh man, it's
Ding
like
dong,
it just
ding dong. Go ahead.
no, it just sounds like there was like on the way out of like the coal mine, like all the guys like picked their nose and just rubbed it on the wall, and they just named it like Booger Hall.
Booger Hole, yeah. Ding Dong, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Mr. Ding Dong, who fucking the namesake of that town.
Welcome to Ding Dong. What's
I'll
that?
tell you what, there should be a shared campaign between Ding Dong, Texas, and Regina, fucking Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Frankenstein, Missouri.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. They're not all
Good
winners.
grief, Good Grief, Idaho.
As long as everybody in town says "good grief," you know what I mean, like in casual
Gotcha.
conversation. But it would only it would probably get annoying after a while. Like,
The next is
you'd
two.
sit down for like 5 minutes, like.
Yeah, I got you. You get sick of that. The next is two-part. There's a half Hell, North Carolina, and then there's a Hell, Michigan. So if you feel like you didn't get enough in North Carolina, travel a little bit farther north to Hell, Michigan, and then go to Regina, Saskatchewan. A little further north than that.
Well, now there's I believe this story is complete bullshit, but if you run into any local hillbilly, they'll tell you that it's the God's honest truth. So I live in Conowingo, Maryland, and the local yokel, like anybody with less than 11 teeth will tell you this is the local yokel story, and it's that when the settlers came here and met up with the Indians were trying to warn them that the canoe wouldn't go down the river. And they were saying, canoe won't go. And that's how we got Conowingo. And that's horseshit.
Intercourse,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah. This one,
That's
I like this one. Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky.
Ooh, I like that. That just, dude,
That is pretty good.
I gotta say, I mean, it's Kentucky, and some of these town names, they just beg for a story at a local fucking, like, 5 and dime store. That's why they named it that. Like, so why you guys called Monkey Brow? Well, I got a good tale for you. Back in 1942, there was a monkey who got loose in the town, and he was going around ripping out people's eyebrows. That was it. And then later on, we we found voodoo dolls made in a monkey cave. And so we named it Monkey Brow, Kentucky. Yeehaw.
It's just the visual of like a tiny spider monkey running around town, hopping on people's faces and ripping off eyebrows. And then just scampering away while you're fucking shocked that your eyebrow just got ripped off.
Just shaking your eyebrow hairs in his double monkey fists.
Like a fucking curtain.
That damn monkey did it again. PP, Ohio, which I really like.
That's good. PP?
Yeah, that's right. PP, Ohio. Scratch Ankle, Alabama. Don't know why I found that one funny, but it just kind of, got it again. That's why they call it Scratch Ankle. Well, let me tell you, 1944.
There was a skeeter outbreak. Shit.
Last few here, we got why Arizona and why not North Carolina.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And finally, Yum Yum, Tennessee. Yum Yum. Yum Yum, Tennessee.
That's good.
I don't know why that one tickles my tummy so much.
That's good.
Funny towns, but all paired. Was it Bale? Pair? Something in comparison to Regina, Saskatchewan. So we're going to get it in the books. We're going to reach out. First of all, we're going to tell them, don't worry about the sexualization of your town. Embrace that shit. You need all the money you can get. You need all these. Listen, you hit the nail on the head. I wasn't going to try to go there if it wasn't for this.
Yeah.
I think we should shoot like a really low budget fucking rebuttal, even though this is a couple years old. It'd be like, hey guys, we would like to come visit Regina.
We hear Regina needs a little more insider. Regina looks like it's ready for expansion.
Needs 3 Americans inside her.
We're coming.
And they be like, please don't write us ever again. Don't come here. Anyway.
Let's get to a little segment we like to call Fun Fact Fraudy.
All right, let's expand our minds like Regina's trying to expand its population. Here you go, folks. 5 fun facts for you fuckers on a Friday, brought to you, of course, by the Shin Splits Recovery Group and our new friends over at the Flat Earth Society. God damn it, why can't I ever fucking remember this goddamn thing?
Yeah.
Flat
I
Earth
don't know it
science
either.
advocates
I
for
don't have
fucking
to
truth.
say it.
Flat Earth Science advocates for truth. Our new friends over there are presenting to you your mental floss amazing facts. Did you know it takes more than 2 minutes to pour the perfect pint of Guinness? There are 6 official steps to the process, including waiting 119.5 seconds for the stout to settle between the first and the second pour.
I didn't know that, but that shit. I don't got time for that shit.
Alan, didn't you experience it when you were in Ireland?
Yes.
Didn't you? Didn't, like you watched it, kind of like
Yeah,
them.
so you could actually, and then you could do like you could take a little class. It's like an hour or whatever, and then teach you how to fucking do it. But yes, we did watch it, and then we had one. So the way it works is like that place is wild. First of all, like the deed. I don't know. I'm sure you guys have heard this is in the floor and all that stuff. But when you stand at the deed and you look up, it's a Guinness glass, like shaped fucking piece of art that runs through the center of what is essentially just a giant fucking museum. And so anyway, you go through all this stuff and you see all their art and their history and like talks about like production through the war and all that shit and exporting to fucking like Africa and Indonesia. And so there's different types of Guinnesses in those places that you can only get in those places. And there, obviously. But anyway, yeah, they pour a pint at like the top of the building and you just basically look out over Dublin with a fresh pint of Guinness. And it was a fantastic experience. It was for our buddy's wedding, a fraternity brother of ours.
Now, I have to ask, like, do you like Guinness?
Yeah, I love Guinness.
Now, was
Got to
it,
be in the mood, but yeah.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I love Guinness. Guinness is probably my favorite beer, but you do have to be in the mood for Guinness. In fact, that's what I'm having next.
Nice. There you go.
And I'm going to take the 2 minutes to pour the motherfucker. Now, is it better there? That's my question.
I mean, is it? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it hasn't traveled. Like, I mean, you're literally there. Like, it's delicious. It's fresh, and and then you have the experience, right? Like, it's fantastic. But yeah, I think there is probably something to be said for it not being shipped across an ocean.
Well, here's how I know it's better. Because listen to this unnatural sound. You have to put a nitrous oxide fucking ball inside your can just to get it right. And God,
Well, it should be like in a bar. It should be fucking on a nitro line typically anyway, at any respectable establishment.
yeah, there we go. All right.
So,
yeah.
but yeah, fucking that shit's good. That shit is delicious. And now I kind of want a Guinness.
Yeah, and I'm gonna, and as I read this fact, my Guinness will settle. Did you know Sylvia Plath published her first poem titled "Poem" when she was just 8 years old? Hear the crickets chirping in the dewy grass. Bright little fireflies twinkle as they pass. And then she slit her wrist for the first time.
Jesus.
I'm just kidding. She didn't slit her wrist. I added the last line on there. But, I mean, look, bottom line is like, look, obviously she was a poet and she knew it from the start.
That might be better than anything I've ever written.
You know what the teacher should have done? That she should have ripped that up. Like, what is this nonsense? Poem? That's the title of this? You saw some grass? God damn it, get better. Get better.
That might have happened that way, actually.
How did it get published then?
I don't know. That's a good point.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
But, like, you know what? And, you know, I mean, people who write poems, am I right, Wes? No, but there was a time where you didn't need. Okay, this kind of goes back to the beginning of our whole podcast here, is like regulations. Like, there was a time where you didn't need a poetry professor to like profess their love of the art that you created. And this is proof positive of that, is that like Sylvia Plath became one of the greatest poets of all time. And she didn't have anybody like praising her or telling her like, no, your art sucks. You need to tear that up and start over again. Like that. What's that fucking movie with the fucking jazz fucking drummer that won the Oscar?
Yeah.
Chime?
That's called.
Oh, sorry. That's the pianist. The jazz drummer.
The one with
Yeah,
Miles
I know what
Teller.
Yeah.
God damn it, where he's like, do it
Adventures,
again!
Adventures of Power.
Do it again!
Adventures of Power, Whiplash. That was
Whiplash.
Whiplash.
He like smacks him across the head. Do it again! There was a
Yeah.
time where people weren't doing that to fucking artists, and they were still the greatest artists of all fucking time. Like, we've gotten to this place where, like, we have to have, like, these parameters for some fucking reason, and we don't just do the thing.
Drumline with Nick Cannon.
Okay, yes.
That's a fucking classic, actually.
You know what? I might be changing something a little bit later on this evening, because that's a good goddamn movie.
That's a fucking great movie. Yes, it is.
Wait, is that a bad movie?
You know what? That's my good bad movie for fucking
Good
next
bad.
time.
It is a good bad movie.
That is a good bad fucking movie. And you know what? That's my replacement. We'll chat about it in a few, but until we get there, yeah, it's your own goddamn fault, Wes. I see the fucking look of anger and frustration on your face.
Well, my apologies. I didn't think you'd like deviate from a Rob Snyder softball movie or a fucking Nick Cannon drum movie. My bad, dude. Sorry.
A Nick Cannon drum movie. I think it beats the Rob Snyder fucking.
I shouldn't make these bets in my mind. I'll lose every time.
Did you know author James Patterson, who was born on this day in 1947, is best known for his novels like Along Came a Spider and Kiss the Girls, but he can also write a pretty catchy commercial jingle. In 1982, Patterson worked as the creative director for the J. Walter Thompson advertising agency, where he helped create the iconic I'm a Toys R Us Kid jingle.
That's you could put that up there with like the Cheers, theme songs of the world.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to grow up. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's his. Dude, he didn't have to write a single goddamn novel, and you're a fucking icon.
Yeah, he didn't have to write name poem.
That's kind of
He
wild.
didn't have to write.
Kids don't have that experience. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well,
now that I think about it.
Funny story, Toys R Us did not embrace the internet, and this is why they went out of fucking business. They were like, they got to the point where the internet was coming online. They were like, we're not selling our shit online. Like, people don't want that experience. They want to come touch the toys before they buy them. And then here we are, a Toys R Us less world.
And you fucked up because you got a generation like me that literally buys toys as a hobby. Like, give me all the fucking toys. Like, I got a fucking Lego Grogu back here.
Oh, where is he? Because I built one. Oh, I see him. I see his ear.
Yeah, he's up there. So yeah, fucking they definitely missed out because I would have ordered from Toys R Us because they're Toys R Us. You know what I'm saying? Good brand recognition.
I wonder if there's a place in the market for it, or if Amazon would just go and crush it. Because
Amazon's got it. Man.
God, man, so I'd love to find me some cheap goddamn toys.
Right?
You can go broke with his only child upstairs, man.
Believe that.
Did you know, in late 2019, Joanne Rogers, Fred Rogers' beloved wife of more than 50 years, told the Los Angeles Times about her late husband's mischievous side. And in addition to loving a good dirty joke, Fred Rogers, who was born 95 years ago today, would regularly amuse her by farting in public. Quote, he would just raise one cheek and look at me and smile, she said. Oh, that brings me such joy about Mr. Rogers.
It's so wholesome.
Yes.
It's like I like how she says it like it's scandalous.
Also, she says it it's kind of unique too. I know when I'm around Sarah, I'm like, yep.
Guess what?
Yeah. But the filth that comes out of our mouths, the thoughts that we have that we share with our loved ones and fucking friends and family alike, Fred Rogers is just like, oh, I want to teach these children how to be good adults. And then it comes back to poop humor. And if even Fred Rogers got poop humor. We've talked about poop humor before, and the people who don't get it, they're fucking psychopaths. They have something wrong with their brains, and they should not be allowed to participate in society. And Fred Rogers just proves that he was the best of us.
I was on my personal Instagram today, and one of our bits came up, and it was called like the punchline, and it was like the punchline is the poop. The poop is the
Right.
punchline. Like, I don't understand what you don't understand about the joke.
That's right. I was explaining to a friend of mine's daughter who's of age. She's in her early 20s. Yeah, a funny story revolving around that, and she was like, wow, wait, I'm waiting for the end. I was like, no, that was the punchline. There was a secret poop down in the bathroom. Don't you get it? God damn it! What the hell's the matter with you?
It's like the South Park episode.
Alan
Fucking
followed it up.
urinal
Like
poops.
Alan followed it up. There's plenty of nice people who don't have a sense of humor.
True. Good stuff.
And finally, did you know typically adults produce about 2 pints of gas each day, which sneaks or leaks out via an average of 14 farts a day? If that number seems low to you, don't worry. It's apparently perfectly normal to pass gas up to 21 times a day.
Up to.
Does that even still seem a little low to you? 21?
They
I
14
don't really
to 21. 14 to 21 is what I heard is the norm.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what they're saying. Like, I mean, but does even 21, like, I don't know, man. I feel like I got like a little bit like nothing like audible or anything, but just kind of like a little, like, like a little air coming out.
What about do sleep farts count? Do they count those? Are they averaging them out here?
I would imagine science is thorough. I'd imagine they got maybe like a microphone or like a windmill or something
I'm
down
assuming
there.
that's like when they do you a sleep study for like apnea, like so you don't die. Fucking, they also just have a mic like by your pooper, and they're just like, all right, well we'll get to that's extraneous data. You know what I mean? Let's just get that just in case we got it. Let's do some research. Because like look, from what I've heard from my dearly beloved is that I like to toot in my sleep. So I would like to know if those are included. Is all.
I've heard that too. I think it's a bit of a conspiracy. I'm not buying it, to be honest with you. So just so you know where my stance is.
Look, I don't disbelieve it, but I don't know why I gotta be called out like that. Is really what it is.
Sleep farts are probably the best farts, man, because like your whole body's relaxed. You have literally no filter, like mentally or physically. Like your body's just like, we're releasing this now, and it's just gone. That's probably
That was my logic. Like, it's probably great. Of course that you fart in your sleep. You're so relaxed.
Yeah. It's probably the greatest fart that you never get to experience. That is God's cruel joke on the digestive system.
Actually, it is, I think, because I've been told that I've had some fucking barn burners. And I was just not conscious for it.
So sad. But that, my friends, is your Fun Fact Friday.
Well, tonight on Before You Go, this is coming out of Bro Bible via TMZ. Jimmy Garoppolo, the former 49ers quarterback, now with the the Vegas Raiders, has been offered by, and I can't figure that. Let's see here, the to and from the famous establishment of the Chicken Ranch brothel has made it a wild offer. Jimmy G is going to get a free for life sex package now that he has signed like a 3-year deal with the Raiders. Listen, I have some thoughts on this on my own, but I want to get your thoughts on the Jimmy G spot free for life sex package.
I mean, good for him, I guess, right? I feel like Jimmy G. Don't the ladies love Jimmy G?
Yeah.
He's a handsome guy.
I thought he was like one of like the NFL kind of hunky quarterbacks that the ladies like.
Do you not know what? Okay, not to be. Look, okay, I don't even have to explain this. Do you not know what Jimmy G looks like?
Yeah, I
Oh,
do. I was just saying, like, why does he need this? But I mean, good for him if he wants to use it.
I mean, I'm just saying, as a straight man, I'm like, "Pfft, well, no shit, chicks want to fuck Jimmy G. Like, I 100% get it. And in all
yeah.
honesty, Jimmy G, he ain't paying for sex anyway. Like, this is like it's kind of a bunk offer. This is whores wanting to fuck Jimmy G. Like, I know that I am below your status. So
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this offer out there that anytime that you just want to have some no questions asked, no public disclosure documentation signed, you can just come on down here and you can just rail me out because I would appreciate it more than you will.
Yeah.
That's
Also,
fair.
think about it like this, though. If that's going to be the case, you'll have to be somewhat suspicious of someone pulling the goalie. You know, he
Yeah,
is a quarterback.
yeah.
These are
That's what I was gonna
prostitutes.
say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they're definitely. I agree with you, Murr, that they're definitely like, come on and get it, professional, handsome professional athlete. But like, I also definitely suspect that one or two of them's fucking, you know, popping pins through those fucking magnums that Jimmy G's fucking popping on, and
Well, hold
you know,
on. You said he
know
was
when
a
a little
handsome guy.
quarterback pop.
You said he was a
What's
handsome
that?
guy. Now you said he's a handsome guy. Now you're assuming he has magnums.
Oh, I think he's just overconfident.
Okay. I don't even know.
Yeah,
If it's just
I don't think he lives up to that because no man really does except like Mandingo.
Well, here's the thing, though. This is why I'll disagree with you, and I wish this wasn't true, and I wish I didn't have these thoughts in my head. But like the fact that he hit on Aaron Andrews on live television while doing a post game interview means that he's pretty confident on his upstairs and downstairs game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fair.
So, like, I feel like Jimmy G might be living the look. Jimmy G just needs to stop being a quarterback and go ahead to the booth now before he's 30 and just he'll probably make more money as an on-air television personality than he ever will as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Just hang it up, save your knees, save your hips, save your back, save your shoulders, and be done with her.
Yeah, definitely save your hips if you have this offer. Sex for life. What I wanted to say was,
Just take the blow out of him.
what I wanted to say was, like some of these long-term deals, especially baseball seems to be the most prevalent. You got these 10-year contracts of $300 million north, and it happens in football too. But you also know that these are from a talent standpoint, these are front end loaded, right? You're going to get the most return on investment the first 5 or 6 years. After that, when this guy's turning 37, 38, 39, even 40 in Pujols' case, you're not going to get you're not going to get what you wanted from the front end of the contract. You feel what I'm saying? You following?
I'm following, but I'm trying to figure out where you're going.
Where I'm going with this, if it's free sex for life, you get that 70-year-old droopy ball, Jimmy G, who fucking can't fucking swing it around a little bit more. And he's like, yeah, you told me free sex for life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Here's the thing that I agree with you to an extent, but like I'm also angered by the Jimmy G's of the world. Is like they got everything going for them. They're athletic, they're handsome, they're getting free sex contracts by sex workers in Las Vegas, which are probably the best sex workers. I mean, if I'm Jimmy G, I mean, and I'm single, I'm gonna take him up on the offer at least one time. It's like, what don't I know about sex? Like, let me go to a professional and see what I've like been missing possibly. Maybe I'm missing
Right.
nothing, but I don't know that. So let's see what like maybe this chick can do like, I don't know, like a springboard spin flip off of her fucking hips. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm ruined for life. I'm gonna have to
Right.
marry a hooker. Like you gotta give it a go once.
See, he puts on Experience Regina. That's like a soundtrack in the room. I heard this is a great song to fuck to.
You just mouthed like the Hulk Hogan theme at a slower pace.
Well, that's what that fucking keyboardist did when he made that song.
Half of that ditty was a stock, like the keyboards have the stock beats. It was like It was like R&B, and he just hit it and was like, and then just played like 2 notes. Beep 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 beep. That's all it was.
Casio.
Yeah.
Casio fucking pre-program level 2.
Yeah, preset 6, fucking Casio.
Tempo 4v3. Da da da. Let's go. All right.
Bangers.
All right, Alan, tell all the Jimmy G lovers and fans and would-be future lovers where you can find the middle class.
www.experienceregina.com. Fucking, you can find us on all of your favorite social media platforms. We're on we're at MDL on Instagram and Twitter. We're the Middle Class Holes on Facebook and TikTok. And of course, for your listening pleasures, please check us out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Oh yeah, and I forgot about YouTube. Check us out, YouTube, the Middle Class Holes.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it was a brain fart in the beginning of that one there. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
That's right. You rallied and you overcame.
Actually, no, it was a sleep fart. You didn't know it happened. This here is a listener comments tonight. Email again from Keith Kern. Keith, keep them coming. We appreciate it. He was speaking on last week's episode. I said, I wanted to say that I really enjoyed today's show, particularly Wes's delivery of the Sunny Delight hard seltzers. It made me imagine a commercial with a teenage going Hulk Hogan on his t-shirt screaming, Sonny D, while shooting a load in his pants. I'm still chuckling about it 4 hours later. Thanks again for the entertainment. You guys, and if you guys are really interested in the high-wheeled bicycles, they have a race every summer here in Frederick. If you guys check it out, I'll buy you a beer.
That might have to be a Middle Class Holes field trip.
Dude, I'd want to enter.
Where do I think we probably have to provide the bike?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, look,
What
I
do
think
you-
a
what do
build
you
one.
mean, shred 'em?
Maybe. I mean, how many of these? There's got to be like a guy with a handlebar mustache that's fucking waxed and curled that's fucking like willing to like rent one out for like, I don't know, $40 a day and get out there and fucking let me die falling for the first time 10 feet to my death off of a giant wheel bike.
We'll pour beer down your mouth while you're paralyzed. Yeah, buddy.
Got you.
Like it's like fucking Sean Connery in the Holy Grail. There you go.
I will
Drink
ride
up.
a regular bike with you, like next to you, the whole time.
If we can't
That'd be
find
great.
one, we'll find someone who's about to enter the race. Okay, we'll be like, hey man, a potential sponsor wants to talk to you behind the 5 a dime in the alley, and me and Alan will just beat the snot out of him. Like, Murr, the bike's all yours. Go ahead.
And then I'll
He
wear.
said, take it.
I'll throw on my newsy cap and jump aboard.
Yeah, you should go like full regalia, like wool 3-piece suit for no reason.
Yeah. Right in the
It'll be
middle of summer too. You'd be like, God damn it, it's hotter than a Regina out here.
Yeah, you just roll your sleeves up because that's the only respite you get.
Next coming
No,
out
sure.
of this is Instagram, Clubber Lang and Brain Damage. NUCU_fan 1977. That's a Newcastle fan. Says, Mr. T, great actor? Question mark. Someone should check Murr for brain damage. I said, listen, Murr wasn't saying he's a great actor. He was saying that he was great in that movie. Then they said, I will double down on this like Clubber Lang doubled down on his Wild Hooks.
That was me that wrote the second comment there, buddy boy. Listen, Mr. T was absolutely Yeah, I'm Crank Up the Beach because I used to work at a radio station called 93.5 The Beach, and I was Crank on the beach, so I crank up the beach. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
No, look, listen, that movie with Mr. T, that was the part that made a career. And you can't tell me that Mr. T wasn't a great actor in that film because Mr. T's career fucking exponentially just gone. A-Team, everything else that he's ever done after that was because of Rocky 3, which means he nailed that fucking role. And do not forget that the original Rocky won a fucking Oscar, an Academy Award for the best fucking film. So even though we're 2 fucking movies removed from that, it still means that the Rocky franchise was not just hiring fucking nobodies to come in and be a part of it. No, Mr. T earned that spot. Mr. T owned that spot. Clubber Lang is one of the top 100 in there with Crocodile Dundee as one of the greatest fucking characters in cinematic history, and it's because of Mr. T's performance. So if you've ever seen Mr. T outside of his Mr. T-dom, you know that he's not exactly like those characters or the thing that he portrayed on television and film, which means he's a great goddamn actor in that movie. Suck my balls.
All right. Well, hey, yeah, I know we're like what 2 movies removed from the original Magic Mike. Do you think we could coerce the producers to make a 4th and they visit Regina, Saskatchewan?
I'm not gonna lie. I think I saw like a trailer on something recently that there's like a final Magic Mike coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think.
the third
think
one
you're
just
right.
came out. But listen,
Oh, it just came out. Oh, fuck! Wow, that's
The
ridiculous.
Rebirth. They come out with another one in
Isn't
Regina.
that what it's called? The Rebirth?
No,
It's like called like
they-
Magic Mike's Last Dance or something.
Oh. But yeah,
Magic Mike.
I mean, the Regina seems like
Magic Mike breaks his dick in half. That's I think is what it's called. His dick is useless.
Starring Jimmy Garoppolo.
Lastly, coming from a YouTube short, Malicious Obedience. Douglas Cunningham writes in, malicious compliance is the term you were looking for. It's not malicious obedience, it's a compliance.
thanks, nerd.
What's
Sorry,
the difference?
I mean, it's,
Well, it's like the actual, like, that's what the term is.
Well, I mean, if you're being obedient, are you being compliant?
What he's saying is what you said is slang. The actual official term is compliance.
Okay, all right, yeah. Well, I'll repeat Alan's line. Thanks, nerd.
That's what I was waiting for. That's what I was waiting for. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I mean, like, it's still the same fucking. Okay, thanks for listening. I'll say that. I apologize for denigrating you, but yes, it's the same goddamn thing, and it's still fuck you. Thank you.
All right. That is all the time we have for tonight. We will be compliant and or obedient, however you want us to feel. Check us out next week when we review Murr's Good Bad Movie, which was originally a softball movie starring Rob Snyder, but midway through the show, he got inspiration via another outlet. Murr, hit us with it.
Okay, all right. What would you guys prefer? I'll give you guys.
Come on.
Would
It is your Good Bad Movie. You pick the fucking thing.
Okay, all right. All right. I will stay with Benchwarmers. I don't want to upset Wesley. Okay, I feel like Wes
Why
has
you
gone through
upset
enough.
me? Listen, okay, stop. Nonsense.
Mhm.
You can pick the movie. I don't care if you pick fucking Fright Night or Howard the Duck or I don't know, but I think it's some what's that movie with Travolta and Billy Pepper and Forrest Whitaker? You know what I'm talking about?
The one with the Scientology movie.
No, it's the movie where like Travolta and Forrest Whitaker are aliens who have taken over Earth. I think it's called like
that's the- that's the
Operation
stuff-
Earth.
I think that's the Scientology movie.
No.
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, that's
Battlefield.
it. Yeah, that's a Scientology dude. That's a Scientology movie.
Scientology movie.
Well, that is one of the worst movies of all time. So you can pick out.
No. That's not a good. That's only bad. There's no good in that. No, I'm gonna pick Benchwarmers, and I have a specific reason for doing so with Benchwarmers because. Do you want to hear my reasoning, or do you just want me to tell you what the movie is?
Let me guess. A feel good story about a bunch of underdogs who overcame treacherous odds.
All right, so we'll be reviewing Drumline for our Good Bad movie.
Yes.
Wes nailed all of my themes immediately, and so there's no point in reviewing it. So we're gonna do Drumline, starring Nick Cannon. And if you're unaware of Drumline, Nick Cannon plays a character that is from, I guess, the hood, who is a natural at playing the drums, and yet faces some adversity along the way. And I'm going to review the movie. I'm going to watch it, and then we're going to go over it, and we're going to understand why maybe it was rated poorly by critics, yet is beloved by audience members globally.
Yeah. 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Mhm.
Let me check Rotten Tomatoes.
Do you know why it was actually something. It was higher on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know why I
Rotten
know?
Tomatoes is 82%. So
82% of Rotten Tomatoes. Do you know why I know you're committed to your craft? Because I sat there and I said something about what's the Rob Snyder movie?
Benchwarmers?
Flatliner,
Benchwarmers.
Benchwarmers. And I said it's a feel good story about a bunch of underdogs, and then you giving your you giving your quick spiel about Drumline, like an underdog story about a drummer. It's all good. All right, folks. Look, see us next week. Hit us up on social media. We love you. Good night. Have a good day.